or their group stage matches. And before we even get a chance to really introduce this game, they are off. My name is Will J. Bradley, and I'm joined today by my good friend, Brewers fan JP, or my boy JP. How's it going, dude?
Doing well. Looking forward to this race. Going to be interesting to see how these two run. Both of these are very good with the Overworld glitches, good at the game. I'm looking forward to this one quite a bit.
I'm going to stop you there. I don't know about these two. I don't know how good they are. In fact, I've never met either of them. Well, I've met one of them. But to say they're good at this game is very No, they're actually really good. I mean, I learned a lot about Overworld glitches from both of these players, particularly Fouton. But we did get a little map check there. We got 2 pennants in the Light World, 1 at Tower of Hera and 1 at Eastern Palace, and our Pyramid Fairy Crystal, at least one of the 2, is going to be a desert. So we're already kind of getting an idea of what kind of seed we're going to get. Generally, you want to see pennants in the Dark World, because then there's a possibility you don't have to do them at all. But when you have 2 pennants in the Light World, it's kind of... it means you're going to need a lot more stuff to beat this game in general.
Yeah. At least one of the crystals, desert, they do have some access to right away. Well, they can't complete, obviously, without a few items, but desert tends to be a place you go to visit early anyway, so it might work out for them. And Mentos gets a 8-bomb drop.
Yeah, speaking of working out for him, Mentos with the nice play of going to visit Uncle, getting not only 300 rupees, but that 8-bomb drop, because, of course, there's quite a few locations in Kakariko, as well as just in the Sphere 0 locations and Sphere 1, the Overworld, that require a bomb. The nice thing is with these boots, there is a stash of bonk rocks on the way to Kakariko Village that has a free bomb every time you screen transition.
Yeah, but with the bombs, Mentos is going to do somewhat of a standard start with bombs and go through the front of escape. If you've done standard modes, bombs are one of the items you can get with randomized swords, so many runners are used to this.
Ooh, and a big 300 at the Lumberjack. Yeah, I remember when randomized... Okay, well, that was debatable. Why did that not blow him up? What was that? That was weird. Game's weird, man. Well, I completely lost my train of thought with that one. But yeah, one thing to point out, for those that have not seen much of World Glitches, of course, for the most part, all of our dungeons still have their normal requirements to complete. But with stuff like Desert, or Turtle Rock, or Ice Palace, some of these we can actually skip some requirements to get in the dungeon, which is kind of one of the fun parts about Overworld glitches, is there are glitches in the Overworld. So like Desert, you can actually get to Land Molds without the glove. Or Turtle Rock, you can actually get into it without even needing the medallion. Mentos having a little bit of trouble. He's got to be careful, though, because he's down to 1 heart, and 1 bomb blast to the face will take him down, as well as 2 pokes from one of these blue guards. He's also completely out of bombs.
Yeah, he's going to get some stuff here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's one thing I've as a player, as a competitor in this game, it's knowing your limits and knowing what you're comfortable with. And I just based on how that went, I don't know if Mentosman was completely into this whole bomb escape situation.
Well, I think on Mentos' side, I know he likes to play a little riskier, and I think from his perspective, he's got 8 bombs. He's done a bomb escape before. Might as well go for it.
Yeah, and unfortunately now he's going to have 0 bombs when he eventually makes his way to Kakariko, unless he can find some along the way. Meanwhile, Fouton finding the Moon Pearl in the back of Blind's hut, or in the basement of Blind's hut, which is really nice in particular because, well, with Overworld glitches, we can use some boots clips to get us up to Death Mountain, where you can also go up, grab the portal up there, and boot clip your way down to just the general Dark World area. And that Moon Pearl basically just gets us Dark World access alone.
I think we're going to see Mentos go straight into Eastern.
Actually, now when it comes to Overworld glitches, I might make some errors when describing some things, but well, never mind. All right, we're good now. Because I couldn't remember. There's some clips where they're either only doable if you have like hook speed or spin speed, which is a particular glitch or kind of status you can put yourself in with some particular inputs. If you have a sword, a hook shot, and the boots, that down clip from deathFouton to get to the Dark World was one that I'm not 100% sure about. But with Futon finding the sword, it doesn't really matter what happens now.
Also finds an ice rod.
Nice. Good thing you had that money.
We don't know if we need that ice rod yet. It's still only needed for Trinex, but with 2 of our 3 pendants in the Light Worlds, more likely than not, we're going to have to kill Trinex in this one.
Yeah. Probably a good chance. No, you know, that last pendant's going to be at Thieves Town. It's always at Thieves Town. Every time. Oh, well, there we go. Mentosman grabbing a whole 10 bombs right there. So he's good to go. So this, I gotta say though, this is kind of an interesting play going for the Eastern. You know, without a lamp, without a weapon, he's gonna have a little bit of trouble getting through the dark rooms because he has, I mean, his only visual cue is gonna be if he wants to like pick up and carry bombs, or you can dash to like bring up some little dust clouds or whatever to kind of feel your way through. But you know, even with green mail and 4 hearts, those antivirus will still pack a bit of a punch, doing a full heart of damage each time.
Well, if he comes out of this with something good, though, could definitely give him an early lead, because a lot of players don't like to come to Eastern unless they have the bow.
Yeah, that's true, and we did see Futon go to Sahasrara's hut and then bail. We also did just see Futon clip down into the desert area, one of the many ways to visit Desert Palace. And with boots in hand, he will be able to he'll be able to full clear everything minus killing land mollas because he does not have a fire source. He does have an ice source, but of course, there is no such thing as lighting torches with ice. And cash requires the hammer. Not exciting.
Yeah, early routing is going to Futon, getting that ice rod and that sword. And Mentos has one more check in here. I think he's got a 50-50 chance of finding an item in this upcoming chest.
I mean, this could
be at the map.
This could be pretty convenient if it ends up being something really good. Oof, just a big 20, unfortunately.
No, there's a big key for Futon. He's got one more chest he can check.
I want to say he already got both the items in this dungeon, so he's going to head on out of here.
Okay.
I think it was just 250 rupees or something like that. Gonna head over. He can check 2 more things: Agonist Cave and Cave 45 if he hasn't checked. No, he came from the north side, so he'll be able to check that. But yeah, it looks like deathFouton's probably. Well, we still haven't seen South Shore yet. And there's quite a few checks along that way with Mini Moldering Cave and whatnot. All right, well, that's good to know.
That does put land mollas in logic.
Yeah. Fortunately, it is a pendant, so he's not going to worry about that until later. Of course, we have no idea if this is going to end up being a pedestal seat or anything like that, but for now, might as well just leave it behind. Nothing to do there. So he's going to go down, head up the dam, 2 items coming up over here, and then head over to Mini Moldering Cave, which has 5 items. And then, yeah, usually people will go for the whole Zora play. He does have 500 rupees if he wants to visit Zora. I gotta say, JP, not much really going on at the start here. I mean, we do have Moon Pearl, so, you know, Dark World's kind of up in the air. But nothing really directing us into what kind of seed we're gonna hit.
Yeah, it is. It's tough because we have a few items, but yeah, none of those really point us a specific direction. The sword, the sword and the lamp, you get in every seed. Ice Rod doesn't unlock anything by itself, so we gotta find something.
Oh, right. Bit of a correction. I do believe that Desert Palace was, in fact, the Pyramid Fairy Crystal, and Tower of Hera was the other pendant, so... Bit of a mishap on the tracker. That's okay. Alright, 5 items coming up here for Futon. Let's see what we got. We got 50 rupees. We got a shield. More bombs. 10 arrows. Wow. A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, that was kind of a junk cave. Like what you'd find on somebody's storage shed. We do get to see Mentos check the map. Does confirm desert is a crystal.
Nice.
So Futon will have to go back there eventually, but if he did get both items out, he can just do that whenever he feels like.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, like, you know, you're thinking about Pyramid Fairy, but the nice thing is in Overworld Glitches, there's means to get into the Pyramid Fairy cave without actually needing the crystals completed. Of course, that will require a mirror at some point, so we'll see. Futon dashed along the edge inside Ice Rock Cave means he's going to be setting up this little fancy thing called a water walk. And he is setting up that fake flipper there by hopping in the water and transitioning roughly around the same time, confusing the heck out of the game. It looks like he's planning on storing that water walk so that he could potentially get the item over on Zora's Ledge without needing the flippers. Just got to go through this cave back out and he'll be walking. And then let's see if it ends up being required or not.
And he's gonna check first, and then if it's nothing, he'll come back and get the 2 chests in the Waterfall Cave.
Just a green.
That's about as close to nothing as you can get.
Yeah. Honestly, at that point, I'd rather just have the single arrow, because then I know I don't have to worry about some hint referring to a unique item being a stinking single arrow. Jeez, where's all the stuff? It's got to be up on Death Mountain. Like, everything's got to be up on East Death Mountain at this point, or I guess Dark World.
Well, we've got King Zora coming up.
Yeah. The other thing is he is leaving Hobo behind, but fortunately, if you start at Link's house and head over to that bridge, there's a way you can clip out of bounds or find your way over to Hobo without having to go all the way around like you normally do. Oh, and Mentosman not going inside desert.
And no good return on investment today.
Huh. I wonder why he did that, because that means he didn't go to Agnes Cave and get his lamp.
He's gonna go up to Death Mountain.
Yeah. Well, he does have a sword, so he did get that, which is good.
I think we're going to see Futon do the front of escape now. This is kind of a big moment. If Futon goes into through all of the front of escape and finds an item in Zelda's cell, that's a huge advantage because Mentos was not able to get there.
Yeah, that's true. And he does have the lamp, so if you wanted to check the sewer chest and go further in the dungeon.
I do believe the first chest in the front is a small key.
A wee bit of a divergence, but we will get to see a little bit more of both of these areas that our players are at. It would be very unfortunate for Mentos if there was, in fact, an item at Zelda Cell. Only an Old Man Heart piece coming up for Mentos currently, but he'll be able to check the item in Spec Cave, as well as head on over to East Death Mountain. He might even, looks like he's gonna hop into Hera real quick. God, I love these glitches. They're so fun. And they're pretty quick, too. Like, you saw that. It's nothing but just a spin speed, a particular hop out of bounds, and then... Ooh, nice glove we got here. That's a good find. So just like that, we are already one item away from just normal Dark World access, which is something we don't want to see, of course. It's Overworld Glitches. We want to use Overworld Glitches to play the seed. Otherwise, it's kind of a snoozer, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mentos gets the big key, so he can go upstairs if he wants to.
He's gonna head on out of here. Alright, so far Mentos only missing out on... Oh, nice Master Sword find. Only missing out on a map in the Boomerang chest, where he unfortunately took a bit of a dive. But heading into Zelda's cell, see what we got going on here. A bug net, ooh. You gonna hover to that bug net? Don't you dare. Fall. You better fall, Mentos. Come on, man. What a dingus. A unique item in Tower of Hera. Wow. Didn't we just get that?
Yes, we did.
Well, fortunately, he did miss the hoverback. I'm curious why he's going out of his way to grab the fairies. It'd be faster if he probably just save and quit.
Oh, we got Futon heading to the back now. Got that one key, got a few items in the back. See if he finds anything interesting back here.
Yeah, unfortunately for Mentosman, he might just never go and do the front of escape ever again, but because he has that glove, he can, if he wants, go and check the back of escape without having to. And then he can check the back and work his way to the... Or no, he doesn't have a key anymore. Never mind. So, there's something in the back of escape that's going to work out for Mentos.
Yeah, it was only a red rupee in Zelda's cell, so that's not going to hurt him, but it is going to be on his mind pretty much for the whole seed. What if there's something there?
Yeah, that's the worst. Well, the nice thing is if he ever goes back, he'll have a Master Sword to use instead of bombs. So that's good.
Yep.
We got a heart piece. We got a big 20. 300! Wow. Not a very fun escape. Alright, well, JP, I think at this point, all we really got left to work with now is just Paradox Cave. And then it's probably going to be some Death Mountain, or some Dark World action coming up then.
Well, can't discount it. Paradox Cave, 7 items in here. Could easily lead us somewhere. Oh, we haven't seen Cave 45, but...
That is true, we haven't seen this yet. Interesting that these players are skipping such particularly weird spots. Fortunately, just a heart piece, so...
And speaking of the single arrow, Mentos found it.
Huzzah! Now we know!
Another 10 arrows, 20 rupees. Green potion. That'll open up Sick Kid. 20 rupees. 20 rupees.
Oh, jeez. Alright, Futon is going for that hobo check now. Just trying to do some sword buffers to move himself enough pixels over so that he can set up that fake flipper. It's really easy to actually hit it too many times and like just screen transition, have to do it over again.
And just 10 arrows on the hobo, so where are our items?
Mentosman making his way over to the Zora area now, using that nice downward clip from Death Mountain, which we can also use as well in the Dark World to get down to Catfish. The other interesting thing, though, is that with Moon Pearl in hand, he could have head on over to the Dark World portal on Death Mountain to go check Super Bunny Cave and at least the first item in Hookshot Cave with his glove. But, and I bet he could even go into T-Rock if he really wanted to. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, right now, Futon somehow managed to hit the dead rock into the doorway that you can't even see. That is very impressive.
Some next level strats from Futon there.
Yeah, for sure.
And Mentos just went up to Hera to reset himself. Yeah, he's heading to the Dark World. Let's see what he does, if he's going to clip down.
Map check, map check, map check. Now, he'll probably go down to Catfish and then he can work his way down to maybe Hype Cave, I would assume. He might dash back over and go down the normal way, but we'll see. Futon going to be heading into Hera as well, get his glove. Curious to see if he's going to go ahead and finish the dungeon.
Yeah, there is one more item in here we have not seen.
And if it even is in the basement, he does have the fire source to grab it.
Well, a red boomerang and a shovel from Super Bunny Cave.
I mean, the boomerang's kind of nice because we haven't seen the stun prize yet for this seed. Shovel, I mean, for Mentosman, that's going to work out because he'll be able to go check that, check K45, and maybe make his way over to Agana. Check checkerboard too, because he does have that glove, so that might work out routing-wise, and you'll end up getting him a lamp. Now, what I'm curious to see if he's going to hover Hookshot Cave. We did see him hover earlier in Spectacle Cave for that net.
Yep, he's going for it. Only 5 hearts, so he only has a few opportunities to make a mistake.
That's 2 falls. Oh wow, both the items in Tower of Hera or both the hints in Tower of Hera were joke hints. How horrible. And Futon with the smart play to get out of the way before that mini Moldor was likely going to bop him down the hole. Oh, wow. I like how he fell despite the fact that he has the mirror. That's funny. So that is huge for Futon. Now, Mentosman did get a hint that said that there was a unique item in Tower of Hera. Of course, to him, he just thought it was that glove. He didn't consider the fact that there were 2 unique items in there. Yeah, and that mirror is a really nice find. It's going to allow for some more convenient routing options, particularly in certain dungeons like Palace of Darkness or T-Rock, where you want to kind of mirror back to go check other stuff. Mentosman halfway there, almost making it. The thing is, once you get over there, you can bonk across to at least get the other chest too. Though it's a little hard because you don't have much room to work with.
And here's our map check. Green Pendant Swamp and Red Crystal Ice Palace.
That is interesting, because at the end of the day, that could make this a potentially hook-shotless seed. So Mentosman, though he is struggling a little bit with the hovering here, we have seen him successfully hover before. So you might be able to take advantage of that in GT.
He is really committed to this play in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, it has allowed Futon to catch up completely. Not that he was far behind, but like just the whole Death Mountain play. Well, he's got one more chance, and then he's probably gonna have to bail on out of here. Which he'll more than likely head on over to Catfish, if I had to take a guess. Come on, so close. Oh, he made it. Unfortunately, just bombs. And a big 20. All right, now I really want him to get this.
Oh, here he goes.
Come on. Wow. Ooh. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that opens up 2 spots for him, but just the 2 tablets.
Yeah, he does already have Master Sword, too. Also, I didn't even realize the fact that because Futon already got his mirror, he went straight to the Dark World, which allowed him to do those Dark World checks, and then he can just mirror and check Paradox Cave and stuff. So, Ether for our T-Rock, and this is... Oh my gosh. I'd heard about this clip before, but I've never actually seen it in action. That was really cool. Suddenly Skullwoods. He traveled so far.
That is basically our version of a world rep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oof.
Give Joe to the face. Don't feel good. Alright, well. I'm curious to see what is going to be our next big breakaway item coming up. Of course, for me, I would personally wish for a hammer as soon as possible. Because late hammer seeds are just... they're just the worst. They're so awful.
Yeah, not having a hammer just makes so many complications in routing.
All right, first item in Skull Woods is going to be a heart piece. And just man going to work his way to the front, check those few items over there. No fire rod, so we can't check the back or finish the dungeon, but I kind of like this routing because like normally when you do Skull Woods, you kind of have to go out of your way, especially to check the vanilla big key chest location. So using that clip from deathFouton kind of makes routing this a little bit more efficient, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. So we got a Mentos in the front. We'll see. He's got 2 more chests up here you can check. He's got 1 item he's still looking for. There's a dungeon item.
At this point, I kind of anticipate he's going to be saving and quitting. Yep, that's what I anticipated right there.
Yeah.
That's definitely it.
Yeah, if I'm Mentos in this situation, I got that book out of Hookshot Cave. I want to press that and see if it leads to something.
Yeah, that would be pretty advantageous if it did, because then he can, you know, kind of rule out some particular locations. It's like, okay, I know that this required the hook shot. Looks like Futon might be doing the exact same thing. No, he's going to be heading down to Catfish. And just like I said earlier, with that mirror in hand, Futon could even do the Pyramid Fairy check. Ooh, that was not what Mentosman wanted to do. Looked like he was setting up for that thrifty little super jump that gets you down to the mire area, but it looked like he moved a little bit too far to the left and screen scrolled, and I have no idea why it put him over there. It was over by like hammer pegs or something. That's weird. That is the thing you got to remember about these overworld glitches, is that you, for the most part, you have very little room for error, and sometimes those minor errors could lead you to being hard locked, where you have to reset your console.
Yeah, definitely. Like, these runners can make these glitches seem so effortless. Like, oh, I could probably pick this up easily, but there's a lot of practice that comes into mastering these glitches.
Whoop, 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 there he goes. It's just funny seeing him fall several times. It's like 10 falls. And suddenly Mire. Ooh, we got a Quake Medallion on the Pyramid. Of course, you haven't seen what we need for Misery Mire.
Yeah. In Overworld glitches, we only need a medallion for Mire. Mire absolutely requires it to get in. Turtle Rock, we have backdoors, we can get in if we need to.
Yeah, you can mirror wrap, or don't even need a mirror anymore to get into Laser Bridge. You can also do a little clip to get to the room with all the lasery eyeballs, or the big chest, and work your way forward. I'm sure there are some very low probability situations where you actually need the medallion. I guess if you like misuse keys or something, open up some unnecessary doors. Because that's the nice thing about T-Rock, is a lot of times you're going backwards through it, which allows you it allows you to save some small keys.
Mm-hmm. Mentos checking Hype Cave. 10 arrow shield. Oh, a tempered sword.
Tempered sword is nice.
Yeah, that's nice enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it opens nothing new, but it's the sword you want the most.
Yeah, generally people, the bare minimum when you want is that tempered sword, just because, especially without a hammer, having that tempered sword increases your damage output quite significantly compared to the Basha sword. Yeah, both players kind of following a similar pattern at this point. The nice thing for Futon, though, is with that mirror, he's going to be able to check a few extra stuff. He's going to be able to mirror to check shovel. We got the flippers from Stumpy, which is
that
interesting.
If in this situation, especially if Futon comes over here, he's not going to really want to see that. With Swamp a pendant, in this situation, you don't want to see flippers, because it means you don't have to do Swamp. But now, Futon potentially, when he gets those, will have a mirror and flippers, and all of a sudden, you got to start thinking about Swamp.
Yeah, he's gonna be hoping he finds that hook shot sooner than later. We did see a bow in Meyer's shed. That's a nice find. Gonna be able to both finish Eastern. I don't remember if we saw all 3 items there or not, but we'll be able to do a good chunk of Palace of Darkness. And of course, you know there's gonna be required items in there, and you're gonna waste a bunch of time putting it off when that was the answer the entire time.
Yeah.
It's usually how it goes.
Oh, Sputon's gonna check the shovel spot we haven't seen yet.
Just a heart, please. What the heck was that? That was a big jump there, Mentos. I like how they're both doing pretty much the same thing. That's awesome.
So, when Futon grabbed that mirror from, when he grabbed that mirror from Hera, we thought that could be a pretty decent advantage for him. But at this point now, it really is going to be dependent on what's in Swamp.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like, for the most part, most of the things you can do in this game, in Overworld Glitches without the mirror, it's mostly just Swamp that you need it for, and then some, like, conveniences, for the most part.
I think Pyramid Fairy ideally, too.
Yeah.
If you don't want to get the red crystals, and with Ice Palace, one of the red crystals.
Oh, but mirror wrapping into Ice Palace is a thing now. For Futon. Of course, he doesn't have the hammer yet, but that mirror alone will allow him to get into Ice Palace without needing the mitts. So that's something to consider for later.
That's true.
Man, where's that hammer gonna be? And when do you do Thieves Town without a hammer?
That's kind of always the question you have to ask yourself in these seeds whenever you don't have the hammer and you're in the Dark World. I don't even know if there's a right answer. For the most part, you don't worry about it because the chest is valuable a small percentage of the time, but it's big enough that you feel it when there's something in there and you leave it behind.
I'm kind of already anticipating. Man, I had something that I completely lost it. Never mind. Moving on. I had a thought, I promise. It was there, and then it left me.
Futon using some Ice Rod strats along with Tempered Sword Slashes takes down Land Molas. Just came for the compass and the crystal.
Oh, I remember. I'm kind of already... one of the worst things, I think, for Overworld Glitches is the fact that basically once you have, I think, at least Pearl available, you can get in the Ganon's Tower. And Ganon's Tower having the hammer sucks. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Or it does.
As of right now, Ganon's Tower is not really on their minds yet. You can go in and you can check 3 locations, basically. Left side, you need that hammer for. Right side, you need Samaria.
Gosh, Futon, like, dodged that Meyer shed door, like, 3 times. It's like, did I do this already? I don't remember. Did I do it? I don't remember. It's a good thing you did. There's his bow.
One of the uglier scenarios, it would take probably some really convoluted logic for this to happen, is if the big key was early in GT and stuff got placed upstairs.
I mean, it's possible. You never know. It could happen. I mean, at this point, what else do you really need to finish to go up? If Big Key was early, I mean, you just need a fire source, a bow, and a hook shot, and a certain amount of keys.
Oh, Mento's got a hint for Hera. Map needs fire. So he knows if he goes back up there, he doesn't have to do the basement. That might incentivize him a little bit more to check Hera the next time he's up in the area.
I mean, at the same time, like you were saying, the mirror hasn't really led to anything yet. So it might actually just end up, if it does end up not having anything, if played in Swamp, and there's nothing in Pyramid Fairy, it might end up saving him some time. Who knows?
Yeah, that mirror is just a huge question mark right now. Until we see it lead to an item, it's just kind of, we're just gonna have to wait.
It's kind of just there. Just kind of just hanging out.
Now, Mentos has not gotten a small key yet, so if there's no key in the Maiden's chest, that means he can completely avoid the big chest in here.
It's all down to, you know, basically a 50-50 or a coin flip. Is it here or is it not? It's not. All right. Well, that's good. No hammering required to finish this dungeon, which is a really good feeling. Huge sigh of relief right there.
Yeah, absolutely. You can finish this one off. You don't have to worry about coming back at it ever. Just take out blind and leave us alone.
I also just noticed that Bombos was in the bombable hut, which does immediately turn around and open up Misery Mire.
Now, Futon grabbed the powder. He's got his mirror out. Is he going to go check that powder right away? No, he's going to check Sitka.
Yeah, unfortunately, he can't get to that spot unless he comes from the other side. Because he does not have... Oh, well, okay. We have all our medallions right there. Because he doesn't have the mitts to get over there, and he doesn't have the hammer to get to the Batcave. But if you come from, like, the pyramid and, like, clip out of bounds... Unless he's... I mean, there is... you know, this is Overworld glitches, so he's probably going to do an Overworld glitch to get it.
Well, Mentos finished off blind. Blind just had a heart piece, but Mentos has his first crystal.
Imagine using Overworld glitches. Alright. Whatever, dude. I forgot that that was a thing. Pretty cool, though.
So does the powder lead to anything? Nope. We also got to look at Bumper Cave Ledge, and nothing there either. Where is Mentos going next?
Might be Catfish.
And
I guess if he wants to, after Catfish, he could come back, go through the portal, and then run up and do Pyramid or dip in Pod.
Yeah, Pod's another tough one that you have to decide if you want to do it without the hammer or not. You can't finish it without the hammer. You can do everything in it except for a Helmasaur, but it's another tough one, whether you want to dip it before you get the hammer or not. Mentos picks up his blue mail.
Probably excited to see that.
You know, Futon's going through Thieves Town. Nothing of use really in here, but it's a crystal, you gotta do it anyway.
Ooh, is this going to be some sort of clipping down to the pod area over on Mentos' side? Oh, wow. That was really easy. I didn't know about that one. That was cool.
Nice and clean. And he's got to pay Kiki and he can go into pod.
He still hasn't gotten that lamp that was sitting over in Agana's cave. But he's still going to act as if he has a lamp and check as much of this dungeon as he possibly can. Of course, he can check all of it except for beating the boss. But who knows? Maybe Pod will have our next progressive item. The hammer. Could be something.
So we get a key in the first chest. That means Pod is not bow locked. At least the front of it. Usually the distinction, like whether Pod is bow locked or not, it's not a big thing to keep in mind, but it is something you always want to keep in the back of your mind. It's based on where you are in the seed, knowing whether or not a dungeon is bow locked or logically locked behind anything, so you can get an idea of what you might find and what you might not. And I think Mentos is going to hover again.
No! He went too far. He's going back. Dude, you have a bow. So I'm assuming he's trying to get on a particular pixel lineup and then move down and then move right, and he'll like pop right in there. Kind of very similar to like the hammer jump, but first he's got to hover at a weird angle to get there. I mean, he does have the bow, so he can't get over there. Of course, he doesn't have the hammer yet. So even if he was to go over there, he would have to death warp out or bail, one of the two. But only giving it 2 attempts as opposed to it was like 10 attempts, maybe a dozen attempts over in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, I think he realized at a certain point, you know, there's an advantage to doing it by hovering, save a little time, but after a couple failed attempts, you just want to move on. You're just losing too much time at that point.
Yeah. So unique item held by someone friendly. I'm gonna, for now, just assume that was the bottle kid, or the sick kid who had the ether medallion.
Yep, that would qualify.
I mean, the only other stuff we still have is Sahasrara, but ain't nobody gonna full clear swamp.
Ooh.
Well, that's really good for Futon then, once he heads on over to Pod. But a nice hookshot find. I mean, I mean, I don't know. Where's that hammer?
This is pretty interesting. You gotta see where the hammer is. If they get this hammer early, and you've got all 4 items for Swamp available early, you start thinking there's something in there.
I mean, the other thing is that hookshot now puts all of the gauntlet like doable. All right, well, still a little bit more left of Palace of Darkness. Futon's gonna be heading into Skull Woods to check out the few things we found. We only found 1 item in there, I believe. Art piece in the vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, I believe the other item is fire locked, or fire rod locked to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
Mentosman currently in the dark. He got 1 item. Couldn't tell what he got. The other item was a small key. So that means there's something in Harmless Hellway.
Alright, suddenly red mail. That didn't take long to get all the way souped up. Suited up. Not souped up. Right, gonna be a nice little setup called the little hammer jump, which is like a 2-pixel setup. Setup 1, place a bomb, set up again, get bombed across. We did find the flute, which, funny enough, is one of the more less interesting or less useful items in Overworld glitches, just because we have the ability to kind of get around everywhere already, and as well as the fact that we have, you know, the ability to fake flute if need be. But regardless, still a nice convenience to have.
Yeah, we'll see if if Mentos even decides to activate it. And there was another chest. I'm not sure if they got in either of those dark chests, but didn't look like it was anything important.
Yeah, I didn't catch anything. There is still a compass at large, which at that point would put it on Helmisar King. And it looks like Futon's going to be heading over to check not only King's Tomb with his mirror, but Graveyard Ledge as well. So 2 items coming up. The funny thing is there is also a way to get both of these items from Death Mountain without having to use the mirror. I'm just realizing now that Mentosman had never gone to the...
Yeah, he never did South Shore checks.
Oh, that's so weird. It's a very unusual route to take, but, you know, it ended up working out for him in the... You know, initially, of course, now that he's doing it, kind of takes it back, but...
I was gonna say, if he went west, it'd be nice to loop in Bombo's Tablet and Agana all at once, but he's going to do Mini Moldrum first, which, of course, has the higher concentration of checks. Futon did not find anything on Graveyard Ledge or in King's Tomb, so that mirror still hasn't paid off for him yet.
Okay. Well, what is next? So we still have a very small portion of GT. We still haven't seen the inside of Turtle Rock, which we do have access to. Could check the one item chest in Swamp. And...
Is Futon setting...
Yeah.
Is Futon setting up a Pyramid Fairy?
Yep, this is the Pyramid Fairy glitch. So basically, despite the fact that you saw him mirror right there, his mirror portal isn't actually there, as you can also see. It is, in fact, all the way down in front of Hyrule Castle, which conveniently, when you walk through it, will put you right in the entrance to Pyramid Fairy. And that was a bit of a mistake. That clipping down that way in the light world is a little scary. It's a lot easier doing it in the dark world. So Futon's gonna have to go back up and redo it. I'm surprised he's getting health here, because another option you can do to set this up correctly is after making your mirror, you walk into a cave, which puts you on the normal layer or whatever, and then you just death warp, save and continue, start you at your house, and then you can dash up and go through the portal. He's trying to go from the top, which is fine too.
Meanwhile, Mentos, I think he might be going for K45 and maybe the shovel spot.
Well, this is interesting. I'm not a big fan of this. If you mess up something like a glitch or going for a check and then not go back to it or not try again, you know there's going to be something you need that's going to be there. But he is going to go mirror his way into Laser Bridge of Turtle Rock, which is really weird. I don't know exactly why how or why mirror ramps work, but essentially you're mirroring at roughly around the same time you're screen transitioning, and it will kind of do this. Yeah, Mentosman about to grab his lamp. Futon. Let's see what we got up in these four. Of course, I don't remember if Laser Bridge is in Logic yet or not.
We're also going to see Mentos give us the first of those two book checks.
It's true. With that hook shot, it does put that back in Logic for him.
Just bombs on the first. Meanwhile, Futon didn't really find anything on Laser Bridge, and he's out.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to go ahead and continue on his original path of doing Pyramid Fairy now. I'm assuming for him, he's going to go Pyramid Fairy and then probably head on over to Palace of Darkness, where he will find his hook shot. But you got to start wondering, where the heck is that hammer? Kind of running out of places for it to be.
Yeah, but the fact that Mentos hasn't gone back for Eastern yet, he might have gotten all three items out of there.
Yeah,
he's going to check the back of Escape, which he hasn't done yet. He's gotten everything I can out of Pod. We can't get anything else out of Skull Woods. Ice Palace, you could get into, like Futon could get into it, but without a hammer you can't finish it.
Chase down the boulders. I'm starting to think hammer's going to be... Oh, we do also have Misery Mire in Logic as well.
Yep, we could go into Mire. Could at least
2 items.
Yeah.
So it's 2 items in Mire, 3 or more in GT, depending on where that big key is. We could also go into Turtle Rock. That's an option as well. So we still have a few good and, well, they're all pretty bad options, to be honest. Pyramid Fairy, I think, is a good option.
And we'll see if this mirror is gonna pay off.
Blue Boomerang and $300. So Mirror not really showing up quite yet. Which is good for Mentos. I don't know when he's gonna head back to Hera. Though he might be doing it right now.
He's at least going in. See if he comes right back out.
Yep.
Real
quick.
Go... I think he might go for Ether right now. Yep.
I mean, at this rate, Futon is going to pick up his hookshot, and he'll probably head right up, check hookshot cave, run over, grab this hammer. Wow, you know, that's so unfortunate for Mentos, man, because he did hover to get that book, but he never acted on it. So he could have had hammer the first time he was in Palace of Darkness, which would save him a trip back in there. So that's kind of a really unfortunate for him. Now the real question is, with that hammer in hand, he can do all of left side GT, potentially go up and finish all of GT. While Futon will be able to get his hookshot, get his book, get his hammer, and that'll open up all of Swamp Palace. So we kind of have some options now.
I think Mentos is gonna. Nope, he's gonna check the sick kid, get his Ether medallion. So, with what they've got, they can clear deserts. We do have enough Mentos can clear pod. We still need a fire rod for Skull Woods. Need a way to get into ice, which Futon has, but another glove would do it for Mentos as well. We do need the cane for Meyer, and we need the cane and the fire rod for Turtle Rock. So at a minimum, we still need to find that cane and the fire rod.
It's quite a few things. But we're not even an hour in, so... We did see on Mentos' side, his file names did say, oops, all dungeons. So I think he's already anticipating we're going to be full clearing this bad boy.
Yeah, I think for Mentos, it's going to be interesting to see how long he waits before going into GT, since he can do so much in there now. Now, Futon is continuing through Eastern.
Just running right into those antiferries.
He's continuing on. I don't know if he got the map. It's the one item I'm not sure if he got or not.
I don't remember what the first chest was. I know the second one was 10 bombs. I do remember that.
I know I've seen the compass, and of course he's got the big key. Unfortunately, because of Eastern, you're not going to really menu again. You have no reason to.
Well, we know that this has to have an item, because it is also a pendant. So
okay.
Futon wouldn't be going for this if it wasn't...
So Chad confirms there was a map in the first chest, so there is an item in Armos.
Okay. Got a nice little fairy drop right there. Not that Armos Knights are really that terrifying when you have a bow. Blue mail. Now, Ice Armos, that's a little different.
Futon's going to take on Armos Knights. This is a pretty standard fight. Just bombs.
Bit of a bummer. Alright, well. Futon did set up... He did come from the pod area initially, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So he can go into pod, get his hook shot.
So, man, I gotta be thinking, like... Mentosman probably gonna be... I feel like he's gotta be thinking about heading into GT at this point. Especially without that mirror. He doesn't really have that many good I mean, he could dip T-Rock. He could dip Misery Mire. I just don't know.
We're starting at Link's house.
What could this be? I don't know. Maybe he's gonna go finish Pod Eastern now. Oh, he'll probably go check... I guess he'll check the pyramid. Yeah. Get his Quake Medallion, which at this point we know is not useful at all.
It's gotta be a little, it's a little tantalizing. He's just sitting here right now. It's like we're watching Mentos do all these things, and we're just sitting there like, we want you to go up and show us what's in GT.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, it's kind of the downside about being a commentator and seeing both sides, is we, like, especially when players, like, swap places, it's like, alright, we already know what's happening. Now we just have to wait for it to happen.
Well, Mentos is heading back to Pod, which he does need to do. This is a crystal.
I mean, we do know that Helmistar King doesn't have an item. I believe he does have that compass. And now we also know that Armos Knights has a bomb, so if Mentos does... Oh, he doesn't have a mirror, so he won't have to... He's not going to be losing time going into Eastern at this point. He's probably beating himself up that he didn't go check,
Well, I mean, a little bit. He did have that book early, so that does hurt. But at the same time, you know, it was kind of awkward because you get the book in the Dark World, you got to come back to the Light World to check it.
Yeah, and
Which
he
you
used
didn't
that
have to-
opportunity to go to Skull Woods as opposed to saving and quitting, going back up to Ether. It's interesting, if he saved and quit and went up and checked Ether and got a hammer, I wonder if he would have been inclined to go into Hera. Nah, he probably would take that hammer down to Pod or something.
Yeah, I mean, once he's done in Pods, there's not much else you can do in terms of full clearing a dungeon. You got to start thinking about partial clearing dungeons or not.
Yeah, Mire and T-Rock. I mean, T-Rock has 5 items, and with that hammer you can check Mimic Cave too. Of course you do need that mirror, so only Futon would be able to grab that. Mire only having 2 items, but they did. It's funny that they were there, and then they immediately got the medallion they needed to get inside in the Abominable Hut in Village of Outcasts. But it's like, I'm already going this way, so I'm just gonna keep going this way.
Alright, Mentosman taking on Helmistar King. "17 hits to the mask, a couple Temper Sword slashes, 4 to be exact."
You know, at this rate, if Futon grabs book and then immediately goes and checks Ether... Oh, where's he going? Just immediately turned around. Probably realizing that this way is much faster. In fact, this was the way you're supposed to go. So you must have been thinking about something else. But yeah, I can kind of see both these players potentially heading into GT roughly around the same time. Because that's kind of like the next good play. I mean, you could, like we were saying, go into Meyer or T-Rock, but for the most part, I feel like GT... I don't know. GT could have Cadence Mario Fire Rod.
Yeah. Mentos is up here. I gotta think this is his play to go into GT at this point.
Oh no. Oh, poor Futon. A little carried away with that movement, actually hopping off the cliff and landing inside of one of those big rocks, which you cannot lift and cannot get out of. So, gonna have to save him quit. A little bit of a blunder there, gonna cost him a little bit of time. We will be seeing our GT from Mentosman.
So he can grab the first two chests on the right. He can grab basically everything on the left.
Yeah, he's going to be hoping that his big key is either here or on the left side, so he'd be able to check the big chest on his first trip through to Ice Armos. Because that's not something you want to do, is go all the way back around just to check the stupid big chest. Oh my god! Hey, you know what? You could have just gone in here, got the big key, and went upstairs.
Yeah, big key
That's
and a small
amazing.
key early.
I'm starting to think that there's going to be something upstairs then. Maybe Samaria or Fire.
Futon grabs his book. If he goes straight over to Ether Tablet, he'll get his hammer. But no, he's saving and quitting.
Oh, interesting. He's going to go check that pedestal, it looks like. Oh, wait, no, sorry. For me, it looked like he saved and quit on Sanctuary. I call shenanigans.
No, he might be going for Ether. This might have just been faster.
Yeah. Don't have to dash past any Lionels or nothing. Alright, well, he's going to get his book, and we'll more than likely be heading right into E afterwards. Of course, now for him, he's like, oh, I got Green Pen and Swamp Elf too. And, you know, at the same time, this does put Pedestal in logic.
Yeah, they do have a book to read it if they want to. Meanwhile, so far Mentos has not found anything in GT.
Yeah, nothing yet. We got 4 more items coming up in Rando Room, as well as, you know, Bob's chest, and then 3 past Ice Armos, and of course the big chest, the big cheese itself. Got some bombs. We got a big 20, the cape, and the silvers.
Okay.
Nice quality of life improvements. Of course, cape does put the spike cave in logic, so that's pretty big. For people that are just chiming in, we did see our hookshot was in the bow section of Pals of Darkness, which logically led to the book at Hookshot Cave, which led to the hammer at Ether Tablet. And that's been kind of our driving force right now in this seed, which led these guys into Ganon's Tower, in which they're more than likely going to go all the way to Ice Armos, and then all the way up the gauntlet, unless they find Samaria in here.
Interesting. Mentos did not go to big chest. He can still come back around, but...
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If he's going to go up the gauntlet, he doesn't have the mirror, so he can't mirror out. So he's got to go past the big chest anyway if he takes this route. So it makes more sense to do this instead of checking that and then going back. Mushroom. Butter sword. I don't know about that.
So, yeah. That does open up one more check outside of GT. We got the big chest, which just has 10 arrows. And for Mentos now, it's time to climb.
Alrighty. So up the gauntlet, we have the 2 in Mini Helmasaur room, the 1 pre-Moldorn 2, the 1 post-Moldorn 2. 5 items coming up. And of course, this is defeat Ganon goal in mind, which means we do logically, in order to make Ganon defeatable, we have to fight Agatu and clear this dungeon. Which isn't really relevant outside of like entrance shuffle, so I don't know why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, for the most part, most modes are defeat Ganon, which means you do need the 7 crystals and to defeat Aghanim. As you did Blue 2, though, we do have an entrance shuffle mode, which does have a different goal of just get the 7 crystals, and then you can defeat Ganon. And that one, the biggest difference is you just don't have to ever face Agatu.
And when V31 comes out, and we got all these other things that are gonna be cool. Well, unless there's something up on top of the gauntlet, I mean, Futon will more than likely go finish Pod at some point relatively soon. I do kind of... Maybe we'll see Fire Rod, which would send Futon over to Skull Woods, where he can then mirror... Check the pedestal for us, because we want to know.
This could end up turning into one of these Fire Rod behind Bombos and Ice Seeds, though.
Yeah, that's true. We could find the Titan Mitts upstairs. Or, you know, Futon could, if he really wanted to, mirror wrap Palace. He does have the mean to do it. Oh, Mentos, gotta be careful. Down to 1, down to half a heart. He does have red mail, but still hurt. Oh, no! I don't think he has a fairy in a bottle. He does not, so he's gonna have to start his climb over again. That is unfortunate.
I was a little surprised he didn't take the anti-fairy. He didn't powder that.
Yeah, he did run right by that. Now all of a sudden these guys are neck and neck. Which would be exciting if they were like, all they had to do was kill Agatu and then kill Ganon and be done. It'd be quite a race, but we still have quite a bit more left of this seed. It's always funny when you're playing Overworld glitches and you're in GT and people that don't realize it's Overworld glitches pop in and they're like, whoa, 1 hour GT? Wild. It's crazy.
Unless you're watching the spoiler log tournament, which 1 hour GT is par for the course.
Yeah, that is true. Or you have like entrance shuffle, and you run up to Hyrule Castle and it's Ganon's Tower, and you're like, whoa, 5-minute GT, crazy. Possible.
Mentos is not going to take the safety room, going to continue up with 4 hearts. It's times like this, sometimes you start to wonder, a runner, you have to evaluate how confident you are in your execution versus how much would you like to take a couple extra seconds to make sure you get through something.
Honestly, it's kind of why I like the harder modes, because you're used to having like just green mail or just blue mail and maybe like at most 10 hearts. You kind of learn to be a little bit more cautious. You slow things down a little bit. I feel like when you have a ton of hearts and you have red mail, you're like, oh, I can take a hit, no big deal. Oh, I can take another hit, whatever, I don't care. And then before you know it, you're down to 3 hearts with red mail and 13 hearts. And you're like, oh gosh, I gotta be careful now.
I feel like we're seeing that difference between Futon and Mentos' playstyles. Mentos is just much more... I don't want to say that he's more confident than Futon. He's just... He trusts... I don't want to say he trusts himself more either.
What are you trying to say?
I think I'm just trying to say... like, Futon is just safer. He likes to just make sure he's getting through everything. Doesn't want to take that death. Mentos is just pushing it. Yeah,
more aggressive. The good one.
Yep, exactly.
Man, the room just got quiet. Or was that just me?
I think it got a little quiet on my end too.
Futon, turn it up. Like, I was anticipating it was like a source change, but literally just randomly got quiet. Yeah, fortunately, you know, there is still plenty of healing opportunities up past the gauntlet, so as long as you don't get like lasered in the face or run into some spikes. Let's see what we got up here. We got 50 rupees. A heart piece, not a full refill though from it.
We got 2 more chests. Gonna powder the anti-fairies here to get some fairies, get a full health refill. Nothing there though. 1 more chest after Moldworm 2.
I find it interesting that both these guys kind of went out of their way to grab this small key from the mini Helmstar room, despite the fact that you only really need 1 extra key for the rest of the dungeon.
Well, I mean, there's maybe a little bit of safety there too, you know, just to make sure you got enough. You still have to do the right side.
No, I know, but it's like they're not going to accidentally open up the middle door or something. Listen, these guys are good, so I can nitpick about stupid stuff. It's just how it works.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was nothing on the climb here. So, yeah, I think the most interesting thing we picked up here was the mushroom.
Yeah, we did get the mushroom. That's true. Kind of a snoozer of a dungeon. I bet both these guys are kind of feeling a little bit behind now. Now that they've put all this effort into doing GT and not... Well, no, they're probably thinking to themselves, I know my opponent also did this. Especially with Hammer being there. But yeah, the real question is, where are these guys going to go to next? Of course, you know, Mentosman doesn't really have many options for him other than going into Mire, going the means to complete stuff. While Futon, on the other hand, does have Swamp. He could Mirror Wrap into Ice. It's so quiet now. I feel like we have to whisper.
Yeah, this is one of those when you might just gonna all of a sudden get a loud blast of music.
Oh, you're kind of anticipating that all of a sudden your drums are gonna get blown out. Oh no, my AirPods.
Okay, so Mentos is coming down to the swamp portal. So this is gonna be interesting. Where is he gonna go?
Probably gonna go to Mire at this point.
Yeah,
that's the only option he has. Futon, on the other hand, is going to head on over to Hammer Pegs, which, you know, this is logically required. You could hop on out of bounds, swim across here, and hop back into bounds. Pop some pegs down and see what item we got in there. I mean, the nice thing for him is he knows he has to do pod, but he knows there isn't any more items over there. I wonder if he'll activate his flute too while he's here.
Yeah, Mentos is going to head into Mire. He can't clear it without the Key of Samaria, but he can potentially get 2 items. Futon does Hammer Pegs just for some bombs.
I'm anticipating Swamp or Ice right now. It's got to be one of the two. I mean, Futon knows that Swamp wouldn't be in logic, but it is a crystal dungeon that he needs to do. But he has the means to do all of Swamp. What do you think is going to be? Bombos to get you Fire Rod and Ice, or Lamp to get you Fire Rod and Mire?
I think Lamp for Fire Rod would be better. Everyone always roots for Bombos for Ice, but Lamp for Fire Rod sounds nice right now. And Futon's making the Swamp play. This is pretty big.
Yeah, this is the make or break moment of this race. Of course, Mentosman missing out on that mirror in Tower of Hera. He went to Tower of Hera really early, only got the glove and the big key, and then bailed, never went back. Ooh, and that's not what you want to see. Well, already 1 item in Mire, just a Sanctuary Heart, getting a nice refill, but down to 1 item left in here. And I get the feeling that Swamp, with its 6+ items in here, because it is also green pendant, could be our answer.
And it still also could be Pedestal.
Could be pedestal. Which would be funny since Futon did get his mirror in Hera but without killing Mole. So he'd have to go back up. Alright, well, there is one item down, just a big 20 here in the first item chest of Swamp Palace. Of course, the first chest in Swamp always being a small key in these modes.
There's the big key for Mentos. And no guarantee he's going to find the second item in here. It could be on Vitreous.
Yeah, that is true. Well, for him, he's going to hope that either this is a required item and an item in general, because then he wouldn't have to continue through the dungeon. Unfortunately, it is a compass, so he's probably going to heading down, checking the vanilla big key chest, which is it's got a little cutscene that goes with it. It's a little lengthy. There's also a hint there, which could be beneficial.
Oh, Futon continuing to explore Swamp.
Something's got to give at some point. We're in new territory for both players. There's another item in Swamp, just a heart piece.
Mentos wasn't quick enough with those torches. Well, Futon's going straight back. I don't think he's seen a dungeon item yet, so when you haven't seen a dungeon item, holding on the left side tends to be a good or a better play.
Gooder. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that because the worst thing is you do left side swamp and it has both map and compass, and then big key's locked in itself. Okay, that is a good hint for Mentos since he hasn't done Graveyard Ledge yet, so now he knows. Oh, wow. That is our second item. So these guys could have had the mitts like right away, and unfortunately on Futon's side, finding the map, so he knows that there's going to be at least one item on the left side or left side swamp required.
I think Mentos has taken those mitts. He's going to dip right into ice now.
Mm-hmm. Now, the interesting thing is Futon could potentially skip those mitts requirements if there's nothing on the blacksmith and he mirror wraps into Ice Palace. It's possible.
You know, with Bombos, you can full clear ice right now. And there's also 3 hints and 3 items in here.
Well, we did say that either Lamp is going to lead to Fire Rod or Bomb is going to lead to Fire Rod. Maybe both will lead to Fire Rod, technically. Lamp leads to mitts, which lead to Fire Rod. It's perfect.
Futon taking on Argus.
Getting sat on a little bit. Ooh, a little close there with those silvers. Ooh, close again. Okay, third one's a charm. Honestly, I feel like that's good, kind of. Because now there's at least 2 items left in the dungeon as opposed to just 1. Though I'm sure if there was only 1, he'd probably be a little bit inclined to skip it, though. Based on my knowledge of Futon, he doesn't like to skip items, generally. He likes to full clear everything.
He's going back in.
So he really needs this to pay off. Because still, that mirror hasn't really led to anything required. It's been mostly just a convenience. And if there's nothing in Swamp, then it's been an inconvenience.
And the game tells us something we already knew. Futon does not have the big key yet, so he can't open the chest. You know, Mentos continuing through Ice Palace. I think he's gonna bomb jump. Yeah, he's gonna do a bomb jump. I was gonna say he could also do a quick hover.
Man, it's unfortunate. Left side swamp is such a big, like, time commitment, even when you have the boots. But What's worse now is if there's a big key on the left side, so then he has to backtrack and check the big chest immediately afterwards.
We're getting closer to finding out. You know, Mentos got a small key early in Ice Palace, so he's gonna do the right side first.
Makes sense to me. At this point, we're both still looking for Fire Rod, and we're looking for Samaria. That is all we have left to find, I believe. Oh, there it is! Wow, huge Fire Rod find.
So yeah, we're just a Samaria away from Mentos being in go mode.
I'm kind of like waiting for it to be like in the middle of T-Rock or stupid like that. Now I'm wondering if Futon is going to just go right in Mirror Rapid Ice Palace afterwards. He can do that, because, oh, there's that big key. Just a bee in a bottle. Alright, one more item left in this Green Pendant Swamp Palace. If it ends up being a whole lot of nothing, he could still rely on that green pendant to lead him to a potentially useful item, but he's probably feeling it a little bit, probably feeling a little bit nervous that he might have, you know, squandered a lot of time with this play that didn't end up working out for him.
Well, Mentos tried to hover that gap, didn't get it. He's just got one item left.
You hate to see that.
So far, yeah, Futon, that play doesn't appear not to work out unless the green pendant has something.
Yeah. So the
And
only thing that would make that mirror useful would be green pendant or pedestal. That's it.
We might find out sooner rather. Well, with the Fire Rod, Mentos might go to Skullwoods, but he has no mirror, so he's not going to check Ped.
Mm-hmm. Futon going to be turning his green pendant and then mirroring to turn his green pendant and then finishing up Palace of Darkness. It is another crystal dungeon he needs to take care of.
There's the third item in Ice Palace. So Mentos has everything in here. He does need to grab the crystal, though. I do believe Mentos also has some green potions, just in case he needs them.
Mm.
Yeah, big moment coming up for Futon. What does the green pendant? What does the green pendant yield?
It's gonna be. Oh no! Oh, that's so mean. That's awful. It's a cane. Just not the right cane. Alright, well. That's so interesting. We spent this whole time talking about this mirror being a huge thing. Huge advantage for Futon. Of course, it's allowed him to route things a little bit more conveniently, but as of right now, unless that pedestal has Arcana Samaria, that mirror was completely useless.
Yeah. So Mentos has finished off Ice Palace. I'm thinking for him, his next move is going to be to do Skullwoods. One item's still there, and it's a crystal.
I'm curious to see if Futon's gonna dive into Mire or T-Rock at some point soon, or if he's gonna go straight for that Ice Palace play. I would personally, I mean, as much as I love go moding Ice Palace, he's probably still thinking about the whole Bombos Fire Rod situation. And if you have a crystal dungeon you can do, you might as well go do it.
And he's coming. He started Sanctuary. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a Skullwoods play.
Yeah, you might check King's Tomb first.
That's true. We did already see that on Futon's side. I believe it was just a hard container. But after Skullwoods, Mentos is going to start to run out of options himself. Though actually he does have the mitts, so he can do blacksmiths and the purple chest right after this, which
Yeah.
would be good timing for him.
Mm-hmm. And he'll also be able to check hammer pegs because he hasn't seen that yet either. And the funny thing is, for him, he does have Pyramid Fairy unlocked. Nice quick Helm of Fight for Futon. He's got his gold sword. I wonder if he's going to swap over and use those silvers. Nah, it's just 2 hits. Oh, yeah, okay. Real quick, gonna be getting another crystal. His... Oh, wow, it's only his 3rd. Whereas he's not too far behind.
And Mentos has 4 crystals. Futon has his 3rd. The big difference right now is Futon's full clear 2 pendant dungeons, and Mentos is only... Well, he's basically dipped into 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Futon certainly dips into all 3 at this point.
I don't think either of them have activated their... Which is funny.
Yeah, it is a little funny. Even though they don't need it, it still is a nice little convenience, especially if you've been through Kakariko a few times.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, this is looking like Futon might be heading into Turtle Rock. Can't really see what else he could be heading up to at this point. Well, actually... No, he's heading to Mire. No, he's heading to... What's he doing? Oh, okay. He's going to Spike Cave. I just never seen that way to get to Spike Cave. That's cool. Oh, and there's a second item in Skullwoods. Just a big 20, so that Cane of Samari is still kind of out in the open. That pedestal cane could still happen.
Honestly, that might be Futon's best hope right now, is that Samari's on the pedestal.
There's a mirror shield. Oh, I love the spin speed out of here. It's just so wacky. Alright, well, this is also a big moment for Mentos, man. Looks like he might actually be heading down to go check out those other Titan Mitt spots. Blacksmith and Purple Chest. Hammer Pegs we've already seen, but either one of those could very well lead to our Cane of Samaria and thus our Goma. Yeah, Futon is heading into the Mire area based on this movement, so he will be getting his mitts, which will eventually lead him into Ice. I'm sure for him, like, he knows he can get an Ice Palace with that mirror, but I think at the same time he'd rather just stay in Logic, I guess. I don't believe mirror wrapping into Ice is a logical move yet.
It's a little weird to say stay in Logic and Overworld glitches, but there is logic to this.
I know, it makes very little sense, but there's some sense there.
So, Mentos is gonna go grab the blacksmith now. He'll have to do a save and quit to bring him back to Light World.
What is Futon doing? Oh, he's checking bombos. I was like, where's he going? I think this is just a pack of 3 bombs.
Yep. Yeah, Futon's gonna go into Mire now.
Man, at this point, the only spots we have...
Mentos, what are you doing?
What is he doing? You dingus. Whoops! We do also have that mushroom still that we got in GT. We have portions of T-Rock we haven't seen yet. And this eventual blacksmith save and purple chest. I think that's pretty much it. We're kind of running out of stuff to do. Alright, let's see. Is this Arcane of Samaria? Question mark, question mark, question mark? No.
No.
Not yet. I wonder if Mentosman will activate his flute now.
I don't know. At this point, it's
I think so.
there's less of an advantage to it.
Mentosman seems to be having a little bit of trouble figuring out what the heck he wants.
I thought he had checked powder yet. Maybe he hadn't.
I don't think he has. But he walked away from it for a second. He's like, oh yeah, I should check that. Alright, well, for Futon's sake, of course, he still wants that Cane of Samaria to be over on that pedestal, probably. Or at least... yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, he's a bit behind. He's, you know, an entire Ice Palace behind, the rest of Skullwood's behind. So I'm kind of anticipating that Cane of Samaria either is going to be on a silly pedestal, or in probably one of the worst spots in this game in T-Rock. Fortunately, one thing we can deduce is that right side GT is not going to have anything important.
Yep. They have no need to go into right side GT because we just need that cane.
Mm-hmm.
So
that works out.
Mentos grabbing the purple chest. He'll have to do another save and quit.
Alright, moment of truth. What is going to be on this purple trash? Is it the Cane of Samaria? What else are we looking for at this point? I guess we're still... No, we have all the bottles.
Yeah, I don't have a good... I think Cane of Samaria is the last unique item we need to find.
That's not it! Oh, alright, well, I feel like at this point, the only things we really have left are T-Rock and Pedestal, right? I think that's it.
Mentos still has some checks left, too.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go for Pyramid Fairy now.
Oh yeah, he's going to open up the normal way. Oh yeah, and that magic mushroom. We haven't seen it yet. They've had that for a while.
Oh yeah. I got that a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think Futon's going to actually activate his flute. He's probably going to do the Smiths now. So it kind of makes some sense to activate the flute.
It's so weird he's doing this overworld stuff when he could go do Ice Palace. I mean, he is still looking for 2 items. So it's not like his chance of being able to go mode ice is slipping away really fast.
I mean, honestly, if I'm Futon, after that huge clear of swamp, it would be... I'd really be thinking about checking that pedestal just to know. But at the same time, he's still... Sorry. At the same time, he's still looking for 2 items.
Hmm. Mentosman picking up his blue boom and 300 rupees from the Pyramid Fairy. He is down. Only a few things left. There's still one more item in Terra. There's still Turtle Rock. And who knows? Could always see you know, at this point, I would hate to find Mirror for Mentosman this late. But looking like what's going to happen here. That's going to be a bit of a dilemma for him. He's going to have to make a big decision after going up Taravera.
Yeah, I'm about to also see if he's thinking about that pedestal at all. I think we'll know if he decides to finish this or not.
Now, I will say that nice thing about having that mirror is that Futon will get to do this check a lot quicker, especially without the whole Dark World mishap that Mentosman had. Mirror. Ooh. Hmm.
And he's right out of there.
Oh, is he going right into swamp?
This makes things very interesting if he's going straight in the swamp.
This guy's really... I mean, we did see at least Laser Bridge on Futon's side, I believe. But
Yeah, we did.
This guy's not really thinking about that Mimic Cave. Or Turtle Rock at this point. Or Mushroom. You know, I could easily see both of them having forgotten. Imagine if Samaria was just on Mushroom the whole time. That'd be hilarious. You know, that's the nice thing about having that flute, is Futon could check the Mushroom really quickly. But he's heading into Ice Palace, where he will get his Fire Rod, which will lead him to Skull Woods, which will lead us to that pedestal check.
So yeah, both runners right now are going to be, I'd say once Mentos and Futon are both done with their dungeons, are going to be about even. And if something is on that pedestal, I'd even give Futon the edge right now, because he's cleared Eastern at least.
Yeah, that is a bit of a walk back. It is funny that both of them... I mean, it makes more sense for Mentosman to just bail out of Hera without killing Moldorm. I don't know. If you're in Hera early and you're full clearing it and you get the second item, do you go ahead and kill... Or when you're at this point where it's like, I have Swamp, I have Green Pendant, I have T-Rock Mimic Cave, and I have Pedestal. It's a tough decision.
And this is 2 long dungeons for these runners. We've already seen everything in each dungeon, so we're not going to see much new here. At this point, it's just all we can do is speculate on what's going to happen. I really can't even... This is basically going to come down to whoever figures out where that Samaria is first.
Yeah. And if it is... Yeah, I would also give advantage if it ends up being on the pedestal, because he'll more than likely check it first. What an interesting turn of events, I got to say. I'm just waiting for them to both pull Ped and then it just be chilling. Well, they're not going to pull Ped if they have book, but if it just ends up being like chilling in the front of T, or not the front. I mean, that's the thing. If it's in T-Rock, the only options we have at this point are Lava Chest, Chain Chomps, and if the big key is in either two of those spots, the big chest.
I mean, there's also Mimic Cave.
Mm-hmm. Futon about to get his Fire Rod. The other curious thing is to see if Mentosman is actually going to check left side swamp or not.
I could see him deciding against it, especially if he feels behind.
And he could also turn in Green Pendant and then go... For him, honestly, well, he didn't activate his flute, so it doesn't really have that convenient option of like running over, checking pedestal, and then turning in Green Pendant and doing Eastern. Well, he wouldn't even have to turn in Green Pendant if he knew it was on the pedestal, assuming that's it.
So Mentos is on his Argus fight. And at this point we're about hour 40 into the race. You're not in go mode yet. If you're these runners, you are completely on edge right now.
Yeah. I mean, if I was Futon, I'd be like, oh man, mirror wasn't required. He's already like about to finish. I mean, that's the other thing is when GT's done, you're kind of like, it's crazy because like once you get your crystals and GT's already done, you just run to the pyramid. That's it. Run to the pyramid, fight Ganon. There's no like GT climb at the end. Like the ending is not always the same thing every time.
By the way, there was our answer. Mentos is gambling. There's nothing on left side, which he'd be right, and he's going straight to turn in the green pendant.
Which is also nothing. It's the wrong cane.
Yeah, he'll have the same feeling of, why are you showing me that cane?
Yeah, that's gonna be... He might just save and quit and go up to T-Rock at this point. Very interesting.
Is he gonna go back to Swamp?
Oh, he might be going back to Swamp. A wise man once said, I'm more likely to lose a race from skipping left side swamp than win a race from skipping it. That wise man, Christopher Columbus. Christos Owen. Sorry. That's
what to say. You know, like, I was not expecting that name, but yeah.
All right, moment of truth. I have a good feeling that we're going to be seeing that Skullwoods in a pedestal check over on Futon's side, and that's going to end up working out for him really well once he does that, because he'll check it. It'll tell him exactly what he needs to know. He's done literally everything in the seed, minus going to T-Rock and Mimic Cave and that mushroom that we're just never going to see because they're both going to forget, and it's going to be their last location. I don't think we got like a hint or anything that mushroom was nothing.
Yeah, I don't think we did either.
Man, this is great. By the time Mentosman is done with this, Futon might well be on his way to getting that Cane of Samaria. But if it is Green Pendant, because of course Mentosman, or Pedestal, because Mentosman will have to go back to Eastern, while Futon will just have to go back to Hera. Oh man, moment of truth. Yeah. I'm waiting for this to be, like, as much as I want it to be Pedestal, I'm kind of anticipating it's not it at all, and this was all just one big funny joke.
I mean, it could still be Turtle Rock as well.
The thing is for Futon is he already did Laser Bridge, which, you know, is never in logic and couldn't... I don't think he can have Cane of Samaria. No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I guess you could go into the middle section, clip into the middle section, get the big key, and get a small... No, because then you'd still need Cane of Samaria. What am I talking about? Yeah, I can't be there.
We're gonna find out shortly. Futon will clear Mothula. He'll get the second item, and then he can mirror.
Chris Columbus never checked left side world, he'd have never discovered America. See, there it is. History in the making. Now we already got one item in the front of Skull. It was in the vanilla chest, and the second item was actually on Mothula himself, which was a big 20. So I'm like nervous, excited, just to see what's on this dang pedestal that I've been wondering about for like at least an hour. Ever since we got that, ever since Mentos hovered to that stupid book, I've been wondering about it.
Both runners now have 5 crystals.
I mean, Futon could mirror, check ped, it's nothing.
He's not checking.
Are you kidding me? Why would you not check it? You're literally right there. That makes 0 sense, Futon. Oh my gosh.
Well, maybe, actually, it may not be the worst idea. Well, yeah, it kind of is. I was about to say.
I'm mad.
I was going to say, he could just go to Turtle Rock if it's not there, then he can just finish Hera and then go back and pull it. But...
I guess no, that's true, but I mean, he also had his flute, so he could have just mirrored, ran up, checked the pedestal, saw it was nothing, and then he knows it's in T-Rock. Goes there. checking the mushroom. Okay. And I think Mentos is too, because he's taking the warp over here. Gosh, these guys are so goofy. I'm so mad right now. All right, was this it the entire time? Was it the mushroom that was behind Ice Armos? It wasn't. It's not there. Pedestal or T-Rock, that's all we got. The other thing is Mentosman still has Spike Cave to check as well. Go check the... legit, man. I mean, here's the thing. There's only 3 spots left that could have the Canis de Moria, supposedly. Mimic Cave, Chain Chomps, Lava Chest, I think. And maybe the big chest in T-Rock, depending on where the big key lies. But, like, come on, man. You were right there. I just warned you Z was on their bird. I hope it's there now.
Where is Mentos going? I think he's trying to set up a fake flute. Is he gonna check?
Oh my gosh. I love the fake flute. So basically drinking a blue potion at the same time you screen transition will basically bring up the flute menu, and then you can just flute somewhere in the light world or the dark world. It doesn't really matter.
Futon's gonna start with Mimic Cave.
Okay, one of these two is gonna be right, I think. Big moment coming up for both these guys.
We're gonna find out about the same time.
There it is! Oh my god. Well, that is huge for Mentosman. He's gonna be able to take... Well, no, he's still also gonna do 2 more pendant dungeons, so yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be close.
He has 2 pendant dungeons versus Futon's 1. It's just a matter of how soon Futon decides to... He basically needs to go back to Hera right now as he's up here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is he will run out of stuff to do after he does Lava Chest. Well, yeah, Lava Chest and Chain Chomps. So then he'll know it's like, oh, I gotta do Pedestal. So I guess it kind of... I could see the logic between going here and doing this, but like... Saves you a trip in T-Rock. This is his third... It'll be his 3rd trip into T-Rock at the end of this.
I mean, if he had just checked the Pedestal right after Skull Woods, he would have avoided all this and saved some time.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
He's gonna go to the roller room.
Mm-hmm. And then he's gonna mirror out, and then he's gonna go to Chain Chomps.
Mentos just has to slash the tail twice. He heads back to 5. Then he'll clear out Eastern and then go mode.
I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, he has to do that. Futon will have the advantage of already having the big key. So, you know, Mentosman could very easily go from the entrance maybe and take a little bit of extra time trying to find that big key in its vanilla location. So that's a possibility. And, you know, Eastern Palace does take a little bit of time, so this is going to be close. Because all they got to... And, yeah, at the end, you know, Futon, all he has to do once he finds out Chain Chomp isn't it, is just go kill Moldorn. So hopefully he realizes, for his sake, that it is on Pedestal and doesn't, like, go check Pedestal and then go kill Moldorn or something like that. I can't imagine he thinks he has anything left. The problem is, he doesn't really have an easy way to get up to Hera from here. He's going to have to save and quit and then, like, run up.
I think he's thinking of what... Is he wondering if he forgot something?
Oh, no. You never want to see this. Every second he wastes on this menu until this man is closer and closer. The last thing you want to see any player do is to stop and start rechecking locations. Okay, this is looking good. He knows. He's got to know at this point. This is going to be really close. I'm really excited. Oh, boy. gotta wonder why he didn't check pedestal after. He's right there. He has the mirror. I mean, if he didn't have the flute activated, I could see that. It's like, okay, save and quit, just immediately go up to Death Mountain. But with flute, you can mirror, check ped, run down, flute, or even just mirror, check ped, save, quit. Oh no. No, that's not good. Yeah, that doesn't work. You gotta scroll the screen down. Just mirror. There you go. Yeah, it's weird how the dungeon works. It's a little to the left. There you go. Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, Mentosman is taking. It depends on how he routes T-Rock. He's got to go to that lava chest to get that big key. He's got to know that it can't be on Laser Bridge. Oh my god. This is hard to watch, to be honest.
I think Futon might just be flustered at this point.
I've been there before. It sucks. It's frustrating. I mean, this is last location for both these guys, basically. Well, mostly Futon. Because Mentosman skipped Spike Cave and the one check into T-Rock, but yeah, that's a lot of time lost just trying to get up this tower. But there's still a chance. It's not over till it's over. I mean, Mentosman is going to lose a little bit of time because he doesn't have his flute activated, so he has to dash all the way over here. He doesn't know where the big key is, and it could, for T-Rock, and it could be in the front to him. So he might go from the front and work towards the middle. Or go to the front, get locked out, and then have to go back and go to middle. So. While Futon just has to kill Moldorn, get his cane, and then just mirror wrap into Laser Bridge again. But yeah, you gotta understand, both these players are probably constantly looking at the IRC chat, waiting for that dot done any second now. It's just funny that they both did the same thing. Scooby-Doo. Wow. Oh, and they still have to finish Meyer. What am I talking about?
So Mentos gets his Canis Meyer at 152.21. Putting him into go mode.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Misery Mire, so they still have another dungeon to go. Futon accidentally going in the wrong section.
Mentos is trying to set up another fake flute.
Ooh. Just barely missing it. That's kind of the downside about not activating your flute. Which, you know, takes like 10 seconds to activate it, but saves you a good chunk of time.
Yeah, at this point, these two are going to get into Mire at about the same time.
Yeah, and I would assume both players are going to go Mire then T, just because it's it's much quicker to... Oh my gosh, you know what? Futon's going to be the first one into Mire because he has his flute act. I didn't even think about that. The flute is going to end... One of the more useless items in Overworld glitches. Paying off Futon.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think about.
Yeah, basically, Futon's just... Like, Mentos pulled that pedestal about a minute ahead of Futon, but Futon's already made that minute up.
Oh my god. Holy cow. We got a race, guys. But I mean, that's the thing. Like I was saying, Futon already has his T-Rock big key. So he's just a mirror wrap away, while Mentos still has to figure out where that big key is. So I gotta give advantage to Futon at this point. He still has a lead.
Yeah, this... Right now, I agree. This is basically Futon's race to lose.
Mm-hmm. I just still think it's funny how big that stupid flute came into play at the end of this. That's incredible. All right, both taking a little bit different route to get to Vitreous. They both have a small key if they want to, you know, go right side, go through the door, but yeah, takes about the same amount of time, yeah.
And Mentos maybe a little faster.
Yeah, it's still not over, you know.
Oh, I just noticed something. Look
What?
at their arrow counts.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, Mentos is
Nah,
gonna.
I wouldn't worry about it because I mean they have Cape and Butter Sword, so or
I
they
think
just have Butter
Mentos-
Sword.
Yeah, Mentos' fight's gonna be a little quicker because he can arrow everything. Futon's gonna need a little more time, not by much,
Yeah.
but
At this point, I think it's really very minimal of a difference. But at the same time, we're kind of talking about seconds at this point with these guys neck and neck. But yeah, I'd still, put on the cape, Butter Sword, dash through the eyeballs twice, and they're down. And then 2 silvers to the face. The only thing that's scary is that's going to put Futon at 4 arrows. So, I've seen so many times people go for like the doubles on Ganon and miss one, and then all of a sudden they're down an arrow. So they have to finish off the fight with, tempered or Butter Sword slashes, spins. Oh, I take it back. Three dashes. My bad.
if Futon doesn't, as you mentioned, if Futon doesn't pick up any more arrows, he's gonna have to be perfect with his shots on Ganon.
Yeah, for him, he's gonna kind of hope that Trinex drops him like a 10. Honestly, I think he'll be fine as long as he's paying attention. He should be fine. All right. Really close race all of a sudden. Yeah, just as a reminder, this is Overworld glitches. These guys already finished all of Ganon's tasks. All they literally have to do is kill Trinex and then go kill Ganon. That's it. And Futon still has a pretty significant lead because of the fact that he's already dipped T-Rock, already has the big key. So all he has to do is just mirror up to Laser Bridge, while Mentosman still has to go look for it.
Yeah, and Mentos is gonna do a traditional route.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Oh no, getting dead rocked. That's gonna cost him a little bit of time. Time he doesn't have. Oh, he's gonna clip into the wall to try and get past. I never really considered that. Now for Futon, he's got to be careful not to mess this up because you can mess this up and get stuck in the wall and have to save and quit and run all the way back around. So he's got to be extra careful here. He's being very careful. Not getting it the first time. Gonna wrap back around to reset. It's the nice thing about this though is if you do mess up, you kind of have a little bit of leeway, and he does pop into place and gets right into Laser Bridge. So very, very big lead at this point. So maybe it is okay that he went here first before a pedestal.
Yeah, with Mentos coming in through the front door, it's going to take him a little longer to find that big key.
Mm-hmm. And especially because the whole hookshot side is relatively slow, or hookshot, or the fire rod side. Ooh, finding half magic, which is pretty nice, but not really a big deal at this point with the amount of weaponry these guys have. Just 3 gold sword slashes per head. Futon a little slow on the pause, not gonna be able to switch to his fire rod in time. Gonna have to. I disagree with that fire rod not activating. That was weird. I hadn't seen that before. All right, down to phase 1, on to phase 2. Mentosman heading in the right side, gonna check 2 items. Gonna do a nice little cane, burn a dash, as you would call it. Really nice. Allows you to get past these rollers while Futon takes down Trinex. Mentosman finding a key, which is gonna make him continue going forward. We did see what was that chain chomps. I don't think it was anything important. Maybe another small key or something. No 10 arrows from Trinex, but Futon will be grabbing his last crystal and heading into the Ganon fight first. And generally people, at least at this point, would more than likely probably just clip down to Catfish and then run all the way down to the pyramid. I don't know. It's probably like just slightly faster. Dig 4 arrows. Oh, you know what? I hadn't considered that. He didn't actually open up the dungeon normally, so he would have to have mirrored and then open up the portal normally, so I think this would be a little bit faster. I'm surprised that they don't just open the door up for you after you beat the dungeon like they do in inverted mode. I guess that's kind of one of those, these are the risks that you take by doing glitches kind of thing.
Yep.
Would be nice, though. Ooh, Futon not getting the quick warp. Not setting up the quick warp. Gonna lose a couple frames. Alright, I'm done.
So we are gonna have to watch Futon's arrows count. If he misses an arrow on Ganon, he will have to do some silverless strats. Now he's got enough of a lead that shouldn't matter, but you know we've seen Ganon fights go bad easily. So
yeah, and we also saw him get a little flustered in Tower of Hera. So you know it's very possible for him to still be feeling that kind of you know, flustered something. He might take a dip. I don't know. He might goof up here. We'll see. I have confidence, but at the same time, right now, Mentosman heading into. It looks like he's gonna set up for a laser or a mirror wrap into Laser Bridge. Is a little bit too late. What a wild ride this has been, by the way. Who'd have thought it was gonna end up being a stupid pet?
Yeah, this has been a crazy race. At one time we thought Futon had the lead, then we thought Mentos had it, then we thought Futon had it back, and then it was like even. But now we got Futon with a significant lead on Ganon.
I honestly was still very surprised that Mentosman actually went into the swamp before going to T-Rock, because for me, I would have been like, oh, the mirror is so late, I'm just going to hope that it wasn't required at all, and just dip into T-Rock or something. But anyway, Futon, last hit, moving into phase 4. He's got 4 silver arrows to take down the pig. That's going to be 1. Sets up the torch glitch. Little late on the slash. That's going to be 2.
He's going very safe with these arrows.
That was a little gutsy there, but he does take down Ganon, and as soon as he into the Triforce room, walking through that door, he will be the victor of this match and game 1 of their 2-game group stage set. So GG's to deathFouton.
Officially finished in first place at the time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 11 seconds.
What a wild ride. Holy cow. All right, and at this point, Mentosman just has to take out Trinex, and he's too far behind. Maybe like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe. But, you know, at this point, both these players pretty much full cleared. Mentosman, bit of a blunder there, went into wanting to place a Samaria block, but forget he still had his mirror out. We've all done that. And I believe we do have our victor in the call. Welcome, Futon. Congratulations. How are you feeling after that last location, Kena Samaria?
Oh, that was something special. I was really worried the whole seed that I was behind, so I did really strange plays like go to Meyer when I had other options, and
yeah,
I just wasn't feeling comfortable the whole.
So
oh yeah, go ahead, JP.
So do you want to take a guess what it was that actually won you this?
Well, for instance, Mentosman is currently hovering his way to Trinex right now for his last crystal. So really close race in the end. You guys pretty much full cleared. Mentosman.
Yeah.
Just Spike Cave, that's it, pretty much.
Yeah. Just to clarify, Mentos is just hovering for the fun of it at this point. He knows he's lost.
Yeah. But yeah, he missed the mirror initially in Hera. He didn't get his for like hour and a half maybe, which, you know, cost him a little bit of time overall, just like efficiency. But if it hadn't been for that pedestal, Samaria, you know, that really saved your butt. But at the same time, when he finally did get his mirror, he went and did all of Swamp. And not only did all of Swamp, he did all of it, left to turn in Green Pennant, and then went back and did left side.
Yeah, so we had a hint for something friendly has a unique item, and
yeah,
which could have, for the life of me, couldn't think of what was left, so I kind of ignored it until I got to the point where I was in Swamp, and it clicked in my mind that that was a thing, and Sosh exists, and
well,
I did that at the end of it, but
it could have been referring to Sick Kid with the ether or Bottle Vendor with Ice Rod.
It's true. Yeah. I
But,
couldn't remember what came from what, so I just erased it from my mind. And
I mean, at
decided
the same time, even when you've already gotten unique items from other characters, we had a hint for a unique item in Hera, and then Hera had 2 unique items, so you can't always trust those hints.
But actually, yeah, I was going to mention the one thing that actually ended up saving you and giving you the lead at the end. You activated the flutes.
Yeah, Mentosman, losing a little bit of time. It was all, combination flute and mirror, because he also did blacksmith, but he had to grab him, save and quit, run over, accidentally went back into the portal, had to save and quit, run back over. And then at the end, after getting Samaria, he was doing some fake flute shenanigans, but messing it up, trying to get to Meyer, so he had to run all the Dark World, then run all the way over there. So you guys are entering Meyer at roughly the exact same time, couple seconds apart. Only difference at that point was you had already gotten the big key out of T-Rock. He hadn't been there yet.
I'm kind of surprised. I figured he would have gone to T-Rock early. Just maybe he got a little thrown away from it from the last two we did, where T-Rock was a complete waste of time, independent, and he spent his entire time in there, and I never went.
It was interesting because you went and did, because of how you routed Death Mountain in general, because you had the mirror to do East Dark Death Mountain, then mirror and do, and then go back into the Dark World, and then is that when you went to mirror or Laser Bridge, or I feel like you did Laser Bridge relatively
Laser
early.
Bridge after I messed up my Pyramid Fairy clip the first time. I went to dash up, and I got hit by a boulder on the same frame, and it just broke my game. So I decided I'd do something else, because I was a little frustrated, because I haven't been good at that clip in a while, and I need to practice it some more. So I was just cooling off, so I went to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, it was interesting, because he clipped over to Skull Woods from T-Rock after he was done on Death Mountain, while you went down to Catfish. And then you guys kind of went your own ways. But yeah, it was really interesting to see. I have 2 questions. One, did you ever consider mirror wrapping into Ice Pack?
Real early, like really early. I wanted to go to Ice. Like I don't know why. I had Bombos. It was just looking good, and I was thinking, if I can get in there real early and get something out of it, I can. Because I was looking at stuff, and it was like Meyer and T-Rock left and stuff like that, and it's just both of those suck without Samaria, and T-Rock is especially bad without Fire Rod. And so my thought process was, if I can go into Ice and get something, the others are probably just mitts to go to Ice, because we've got everything else. And sure enough, that was the case, but I didn't want to make the gamble, so I didn't bother with it.
That's fair. Yeah. It was funny. It was like either Lamp in Meyer is going to lead to Fire Rod, or Bombos is going to lead to Fire Rod and Ice. But it was actually both. They both led to Fire Rod and Ice, essentially. The other question was, I was so expecting after Ice you'd finish Moth and then mirror and check Pedestal. Was very surprised you didn't check.
That was the plan. I completely forgot.
Okay, figures. I was so mad. I was yelling at my screen.
I was unhappy with pretty much a lot of things as I was playing. Like, I screwed up. So when I went to Catfish, I walked down to Pyramid, and then I realized the next thing I'm going to want to be doing is doing the Pyramid Fairy clip. And I would be there anyways, so it was kind of frustrating that I just wasted my time walking that far. And then I screwed up the clip itself, and then I went to Laser Bridge, and there was nothing there. And then I can't remember, something else happened that really made me unhappy again. And then after that, it was just finding nothing for a long while I was trying to find Samaria, Fire Rod. It's just real tense for a while. So I was really flustered at the end, and I just
we saw your Hera.
I was missing. Oh yeah, that was a mess. I was so worried about what I was missing, because I just played like 5 hours of SMZ3 before this, and I was panicking that I had forgotten something, because I had written it off in my mind. The bailout to the mushroom.
Mentos is officially finished with a time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 50 seconds.
Yo, let's get some GGs in chat for both these runs. We'll get Mentosman in here. Yeah, you guys ended up like checking Mushroom at the same time before going to T-Rock. He was like, you guys had that for so long. But it's really easy to forget that. I just still think it's funny how useful the flute ended up being in the end. For being one of the more useless items in Overworld glitches, it ended up being pretty good. Pretty nice. But yeah, that puts you are at what, 4-0 right now overall in group stages? How many races total is it?
I believe there's 8. There's 5 people in groups, and it's 2 races per person. So you get
Nice.
8 matches in. I'm really
Alright.
happy right now with the 4-0 because Mentos was like the person I'm really scared about. I guess Edium as well. I know he's been playing a lot, and I haven't seen him at all. So it's kind of like I know he's good, and I have no idea how good. So it's a little frightening if he's gonna beat me up or not. But I'm really happy to have taken the 2 on Mentos because he's a really smart coached player. And it's kind of a coin toss if you go up against him.
Fair enough. And speaking of coin toss, we got Mentosman8 joining us right. GG's on your race, buddy. How you feeling after all that?
That's my 3rd straight race of this tournament. Last location in my go mode, so not great.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know really where to start other than what was going through your brain right as you went up to Hera and got that mirror? Other than just go to swamp. Like, was it like, oh crap, I could have had this at the beginning, or is it, I don't know. What were you thinking?
There was a little bit of that, but the glove right at the start there, I feel like I was kind of figuring Futon would have done the same thing, just, hey, it's a glove, let's get out of here. So it didn't really concern me much, just kind of, hey, swamp's open now, that's a bunch of items.
Yeah, I mean, in the long run, the mirror, because Futon did clear Hera by the time once he got up there, which, you know, with the mirror, it kind of adds up, saves you a bit of time here and there, especially with something like Blacksmith or, you know, his Death Mountain routing and stuff like that was helpful. And for a long time, we thought it wasn't even going to be required because of that green pennant swamp until we saw that pedestal item. And then it was like, oh, yes, mirror, very important. It was very interesting to watch overall. You guys both put off T-Rock for a very long time. We already talked to Futon a little bit about that. What was your thought process for, you know, holding out for Fire Rod or Samaria, or just T-Rock sucks in general, don't want to go there kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, without Samaria, there's only like 3 chests in Logic, so it's kind of, it could be worth it, but at least one of those chests is probably going to be a key. Probably even 2 of them are going to be keys. So there's really not a whole lot of value in that without Samaria.
Mm-hmm. Do want to give you kudos for sticking it out in that hookshot cave, hovering all those spots. It took you quite a few attempts, but you did manage to pull out a essentially required book. It was just unfortunate that you didn't manage to go check Ether Tablet while you were up there afterwards. Would have been able to save yourself a trip through pod, an extra trip. But yeah, it was cool. I don't know if I have anything else. JP got anything for him?
I don't think so. I think you covered most of that.
Cool. Well, this was only game 1. There's still another game between the two of you. Futon says it's a coin flip in this one. Mentos, how you feeling about game 2? As long as it's not all, shouldn't set your followings to. This was game 2?
Yeah,
it was.
Oh, well, the box, the Triforce pieces on the screen weren't updated, so never mind. I didn't know that.
we apologize.
Well, darn. I feel like I've been misinformed this entire time. Now I'm the one who is mad.
Yeah, our match was yesterday, and
Okay.
it was equally brutal. I mean, not pedestal brutal, but brutal.
It may not have been pedestal, but I did all the dungeons anyway.
It was a spike cave brutal.
When in doubt, do all dungeons. Mentos, you ended up skipping Spike Cave and Mimic Cave, I think, in the end of this, and Laser Bridge. That was about it.
Yeah, I also I never went to Hobo. Hobo was one of the few things I saved myself from checking.
Oh, it was 10
Oh,
arrows,
yeah.
I think, something like that.
Something
Which-
like that. I got
which
real
I'm-
concerned at the way I routed my late world, so I went back and hit up specifically Cave 45, and then went over and hit up specifically Hobo because I'd fake flippered and stored a water walk just in case something was on the Zora ledge, and
Mhm.
it left Hobo alone because of it.
Speaking of, yeah, that I do want to bring that up a bit. Mentos, man, you went into the desert area, but you only checked the desert ledge and then completely left. Which and you ended up leaving like the lamp in Agnes Cave behind, but you also never did the dam or mini Moldorn Cave for quite a while, which is, a bit of an unusual route in general. Maybe it's different for overworld glitches. Care to share your thoughts on that?
For desert, I was planning to come back there once I got a fire source, and I figured, how long could it be till I find, fire rod or lamp? Well, turns out lamp was right there, and fire rod was a nice palace, and everything was awful.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of dipped out to go to Death Mountain since we got Moon Pearl, and I could just go up there, go to Dark World, start running through all that. Mini Moldorm, overworld glitches, I find it a little bit tough to route in, and ends up kind of getting delayed quite a bit often for me.
Fair enough. It was cool. It's cool to watch. Well, GG's to both you guys. I wasn't aware this was a game too, but it sounds like you guys had both two really close, really interesting games, and just want to give you both GG's. It was fun to watch. I had a joy. It was a wild one. Wasn't sure how it was going to end. Kind of flipped-flopped throughout the majority of this race. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much. If you guys have any final words, runners, JP.
Thanks for commentating, JP and Willard, and thanks to Demo for tracking, and to those who set this.
Yep, yeah, thanks to you guys for running for us here. Good luck in the rest of the tournament. Looks like you're running again tomorrow, Futon. I don't think Mentos has scheduled any more races yet.
Yep, Spleeby at 11:30.
Also want to make a quick shout out to Itsu for tracking this one, and of course the fine folks at SpeedGaming for hosting the tournaments. Always a good time. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Yep. If you're looking for something else to watch tonight, we do have one more race coming up today at midnight Eastern. We've got Zero Rush versus Actiboker on SpeedGaming. And then there's plenty more races tomorrow.
Yeah, so make sure to come on back or stick around. One of the two. I've been Willard J. Bradley. I'll see you guys next time.
Have a good night, everybody.